Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Haley Mandrup, and I'm one of the trainers with Redtail Technology. And today we'll be talking about giving thanks to loyalty and referrers. So recognizing when your clients refer other clients to your business, or recognizing maybe their loyalty, that they've been a client for a certain number of years and you want to go ahead and thank them for their business for that amount of time. So we're going to get started by looking at a contact record. I'm going to go ahead and use my search up here to search for Madonna and bring up her contact record. Now there's a bunch of different fields in the CRM that relate to client loyalty. And I'm going to point out just a few in the contact record that are the most popular. And whether you're a power user of Redtail or you're just getting started, the fields that I'm pointing out today can be helpful to recognizing referrals, recognizing how long they've been a client, at any level of how you use Redtail. So we've got Madonna here, and then on the right-hand side under her contact details, first and foremost, we've got the most important information, the status. We've got her relationship with our firm. She's an active client. And then I can see under her source that she was a referral to my business, and she was referred by Dolly Parton. Apparently they're close friends. So those are the first fields that you want to keep track of when noting referrals in the system. But there's also a field in this section that's not very popularly used, and we really like to highlight it in our webinars. If I go to edit this section, the field I'm referencing is the client since field. So what this is whether you've had clients in Redtail for years and years and years, or you're just getting started with Redtail, you can fill out this field at any time with when that person became a client. So sometimes if you're a newer user and you're activating with Redtail, you may have had a client for 20 years, but their record was created yesterday. This is a way to accurately reflect how long you've actually had that relationship, regardless of when their record was created in Redtail. And likewise, if you've had Redtail for a number of years, but never populated this field, you can always go back and fill it out to see what is your current average of how long clients have been with your firm, or maybe you want to see how many clients you brought on in the past 5 years, 1 year at a time. When filling out this field, you can run all of those reports just by generating this field and the contact's name to Excel, and then using Excel to vary by year or look for whatever statistic you're going for. And then, of course, the source. The source field is one of our database list drop-down fields. So this is a list that an admin in your database has the ability to edit. So if you're looking at this list and going, hey, there's some options on here that I'd sure like in my database, or if you're looking at your database and going, I have too many options, it's time to condense these down, then you do have to have admin access to edit that list, or someone in your office with admin access can go ahead and help you out. And the way that you know whether or not you have admin access is by going to your name in the top right-hand corner, clicking on Manage Your Account, and there will be a section down at the bottom for admins only if you are an admin. If you're not an admin and you don't see that section, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That might not be part of your job role that you need to have access to that section. But another person in your database who does have admin can go ahead and go into this Manage Database List section, and then into Sources on the right-hand side. And here they can adjust and maybe add additional sources or delete any unused sources. I'm going to use my recently viewed to go back to Madonna's record. So I'm going to use that little person with their hands in the air. It's kind of like they're saying, pick me. When I click on that, it'll show me my 12 most recently viewed records. So I'm going to go back to Madonna since I was on her record recently. And I'm going to scroll back down to the contact details. Now the final field that I want to point out in this details section is the referred by. Now, this is not a database list like your sources, so you don't have the ability to edit what's on the list. However, it is kind of a smart list feature. What I mean by that is if I start typing Dolly, it's going to give me a result for anything I've entered in the referred by field anywhere in the database. So Dolly is a frequent referrer. One or more contacts have her entered in the referred by. I could also start typing Mary Zamora or John Hammond. They have MO in their name, so that's coming up for that. These are other referred by fields. They've been entered in the referred by on other contact records. So that's to help you keep consistent in your database. That way you can always enter the same information. But if you don't ever have anything filled out in the referred by field yet, then you're going to be adding to that list for the very first time when setting this up. The next place we want to look at when talking about referrals and tracking referrals in your system is going to be in the memberships. So not everyone that refers one another is part of a family, and we want to keep track of the specific relationship that Madonna was referred by Dolly Parton. So I'm going to go down to More on the left-hand side of Madonna's record and select Memberships. Under memberships, currently she only has that she is the Associate Advisor for Redtail Technology. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new membership over here on the right-hand side and select Dolly Parton. So this is actually connecting Dolly's actual record in Redtail. And Dolly, in this relationship, was the referrer. She was the person who referred Madonna. So Madonna, the contact, is the referral in this relationship. Now, I don't have to also go to Dolly's record and add the relationship on her side too. When I add this link, it's going to put the membership on both sides. So now Madonna is connected to Dolly through that referral relationship. And if I click on Dolly, it'll take me to Dolly's record. And then I can go to Dolly's memberships and I'll see Madonna here. And then I can click on Madonna to get back to Madonna's record. So how do we recognize the fact that Dolly is a frequent referrer for our database? Or how do we want to ask Madonna to maybe send some referrals our way and continue down that chain? Dolly's referred Madonna. Let's see who Madonna's going to refer because she has different friends and relationships than Dolly has. If I wanted to send a referral request to Madonna, I could create such a letter in a mail merge, for example. And then I'm on Madonna's record. I can run a mail merge for just Madonna through the common tasks, select mail merge, and then I might have some mail merge templates here, including a letter that's a referral request. I could save that as a note. That way I'm not constantly requesting that Madonna refer. I'll know I actually sent that last month. I'm going to hold off and not request her to send a referral. So I'll make a note here to save it as a note on her record and run that mail merge. Now, if you're not familiar, a mail merge is a letter that you create in Word, a letter template that you create in Word, and it can pull in various fields from the CRM. So in this template, I've set it up to pull Madonna's full name, which will pull her designation, her first name and her last name, and then it will pull her address, her primary address, and then her first and last name for that letter. And then I just have some text here. Hey, just wanted to reach out. I have some exciting information. We've expanded our office services and we're in a position to accept new clients. And then I can have, thank you for your consideration. I can print this out, sign it, and maybe even mail merge an envelope to send out to Madonna as well. Now, not all of us have moved on to the digital age, but if you have moved on to just the digital age and you're like, hey, I don't send paper letters anymore, that's not something I'm going to do, then you have another option as well. You can send the same correspondence to Madonna, but through an email. And Redtail has email templates as well. So just by clicking on her home email address here, I'm going to go ahead and select an email template for referral request. It's going to populate a subject based on my template. It's going to pull in Madonna's first name. It has very much the same text to it. And then it goes down to have my signature, and it's going to save itself as a note on her record. So I can either choose to email her or send her a letter, or maybe I'm emailing certain contacts in my book of business and then sending physical letters to others. It just depends on how you want to communicate with your clients. All right, so far we've only looked at a single client, but what about when we want to do things in bulk? What about when we want to see all of the contacts that have been referred to our book of business? We have a report for that under reports on the left-hand side and contact reports. And you guessed it, contacts by referred by. So this report is going to populate anybody in the database with the referred by field, which is going to be all individual contacts. And then we can even see if they've got that referred by filled out and who that referrer was. So it looks like Nick Fury is a popular referrer. We can go ahead and filter to Nick Fury here alphabetically, pick him out. And then when we apply those filters, we're going to get all of the people that Nick's referred to our business. Now, he's a frequent referrer. I definitely want to recognize him in some way. Maybe I want to send him a thank you or a gift of some sort, or maybe he's qualified to be invited to a special client event. Even if he is an A client, maybe I boost his category or however I rank him up to a double A. So anytime you're in a report, all of the reports, not just the contacts by referred by, you can use that filter option in the top right-hand corner. And this report is relatively simple. It just gives us the ability to sort by one field, but the various reports have different filter options. So keep that in mind when you go to your reports, that there are going to be different filter options depending on what that report is built around. Now that I've filtered to Nick, if Nick was coming in for a review, this would be a great report that I could run to see who he's referred, and then I could even generate a PDF from this report to print out for his review and maybe just thank him for all the contacts that he's referred. A lot of times when clients refer their friends or family, they may not think to follow up, or they might not even know if their friends signed up unless that conversation came up again. So this could be a little page to print out and, just thank them and say, hey, I've been speaking with Maria. It looks like she's still a lead on my side, but thank you for letting her know about our firm, and we're following up with her. And they might like that little update. And then another option on this report, which I like as well, is to not choose any filter. So I'm going to reset that back to pick a referrer. And what that'll do is that'll give me everyone in the database, whether or not they have the referred by filled out. And then I'm going to export it to Excel through this export option. Once I get it in Excel, I'm going to pull it up here. It's going to give me the referred by, the contact name, the status, the category, the source, all that good information. But here I can sort by the referred by just using some of Excel's commands. And now I've got everyone in my database that was a referral and who they were referred by. And I am by no means savvy in Excel. Definitely learned most of what I know in Excel via Googling. So you can go that way. If you're working in Excel, you can Google, how do I sort, or definitely Google, how do I identify duplicates? Because that's the next thing I'm going to do is identify duplicates by filtering, or you can even remove duplicates. But if you highlight the duplicates, then you'll be able to see, well, Bruce Wayne's referred 6 people, and then Danny Ocean is quite the referrer over here. He's got a large book of contacts that he referred over to me. And then, John Hammond, Marty McFly, whoever, and identify who your frequent referrers are and maybe host a special event for just them. Jumping back into the CRM, let's look at searches to bring up those maybe contacts in your book of business and thanking them for either referrals, sending a referral request in bulk, maybe, or sending out a Thanksgiving email blast since it is the Thanksgiving time of year. So I'm going to go over to contacts on my left-hand menu here, and then choose advanced search at the top. Now in my book of business, I'm going to go ahead and send a Thanksgiving email just to give thanks to all my clients and send them a holiday recipe that has been passed down in my family for a couple years. So the first thing I'm going to do is search for all contacts that have a status equal to active client. That's going to narrow down everyone that's currently in my book of business and is funding my practice in some way. Maybe they have at least one policy or account held with my firm, and I want to email all of them. And so I'm going to select all 62 records. Now, when you do click, it is going to only select the first 50 on the page. Make sure to select all of the larger number. And then I'm going to go to Contact Options, Bulk Actions, and select a broadcast email. Now, this is another one of those templates that I prepared in advance. So under this email template, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to a holiday, Thanksgiving. It's going to pull in my subject that I've created previously, and then it's going to pull in their family name. So for Madonna, it would say the Sisson family. And I just have some brief little text, and then I have a recipe here for just an apple cranberry salad. And then a little note, wherever your holiday plans may take you, we're thankful for your patronage and wish you a blessed Thanksgiving from all of us here at Rollover Advisory Services. So this isn't asking for anything. If anything, it's giving your clients a little touch before the holidays. And a lot of us are familiar with Christmas cards or holiday cards, but it's a great opportunity to reach out to your clients around Thanksgiving where they may not be getting a lot of contact. And then it pulls in my signature and all that. And then I can scroll down a little bit further and it makes sure to save as a note on every record. That way I've recorded that contact with all my clients and I know that they're getting a little love around the holidays. They're getting a little contact and some communication from my office. Other templates include the referral request. Just like we saw it on Madonna's record as a one-off, you can do it in bulk here. Or if I go back a couple steps and I have all 62 records selected, you can even create that mail merge with the referral request mail merge in bulk. So we're going to do letter referral request, save as a note. Maybe I want to put that I've requested referrals to everybody, and I'm going to run that mail merge for all of those contacts at once. Print that out on the printer for Mr. Adams, Mr. and Mrs. Adams here. Deborah Allen, looks like her address is not marked primary, so I should go in and edit that information on her record so that primary address comes out. Got Susie Allen, and so on and so forth. So all I have to do is print them, fold them, envelope them, stamp them, and send them out. One final note, I don't have a template for this one, so let's go and create a template together. Is to create maybe an email to all of your clients letting them know you have differing holiday hours. Maybe you want to close the office for a half day on Christmas Eve and a half day on New Year's Eve and the day of Christmas and the day of New Year's and the 2 days for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So we want to alert all our clients, hey, we're going to have reduced availability and reduced hours around that time. To make a template, you're going to go to your name, manage your account, email templates down here under manage templates. And then we're going to click new in the top right hand corner. And this one is going to be holiday, Thanksgiving, or let's say holiday hours and availability. So for the subject, we'll say adjusted holiday hours for rollover advisory services. And then here, however I want to address them, I have a couple different merge fields available to me. I have first name and spouse first name. But when I'm sending to all my clients, I don't like to use spouse name and first name, because if I send it to a single client, then it's going to say, Dear Joe, and there will be a blank space there. And that's not really a great way to send an email to someone who's single, because they're going to know, oh, shoot, well, they meant to send it to a married couple or a couple. So I would rather actually address the family name. That way I'm addressing the whole household. Nobody feels left out, and everyone feels included and addressed in this email. So I'm going to say family name. You wanted to wish you a cheery holiday season and let you know about our holiday hours. And then I could go on to specify, hey, for Thanksgiving, we're going to be closed on the 26th and 27th. I believe that's the Thursday and Friday. And then we'll have adjusted hours for Christmas and New Year's as well. Now in the template, I have the option to add a user signature when sending, save a copy as a note, or send a user a copy as well. I like to select the first two. That way your signature is already pulled in from your preferences, and then you can save a copy as a note. Now, if you're on this call and you're going, hang on a second, I don't know anything about broadcast email. What do you mean my signature is already set up? I do want to show you all of the resources we have available under the question mark in the top right-hand corner. And this is going to be all of the ways to contact Redtail, but the most important one that I want to point out here is the Redtail Help Desk. And on the Redtail Help Desk, we have this section called Training Sessions. And right under tutorials is a whole video on broadcast email. So again, if you're on this webinar and saying, wait a second, I don't have broadcast email set up at all. What is this feature? Show me more. The broadcast email video is a great place to get started. It'll show you head to tail, dog pun intended, head to tail, how to set up your broadcast email within Redtail and get started using that feature. So that wraps up our webinar today on giving thanks to loyalty and referrers in your database. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. For additional information, please reach out to our support team at 800-206-5030, and then email us at support@redtailtechnology.com. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving.